Hi there. Have you got some data in Microsoft Excel you want to put into Microsoft SQL Server? Well, it's so simple to do. It'll take me less than 5 minutes, and I'll show you how to avoid two of the most common issues that will come up along the way. To begin with, let's have a look at our sample data. I've got a file here, import.xlsx. Okay, very simple. Half a dozen columns, 50, 60 rows, one sheet inside one workbook, which we're going to put into one table in Microsoft SQL Server. Let's close that and Alt tab across to SSMS. You'll notice I've got two instances connected here, and I'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, at the top one I've got a SQL Server Developer Edition, and at the bottom one I've got an Express Edition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the Stingrae database. I'm going to go Tasks, Import Data. I'm not going to go import flat file. Okay, that's for a CSV or a text file. I want to import the data straight from Excel. Okay, so from here, pretty simple, go through the wizard. Microsoft Excel, import.xlsx. Okay, there's our data. 2010, not sure. Let's just leave it. That's what it put as the default. And our first row has column names. Okay. Oh, what happened here? Microsoft ACE OLE DB 12 provider is not registered on a local machine. Maybe the version, we chose 2010, it's probably a bit more of a recent version of Microsoft Excel. Let's change that to 2016. The Microsoft ACE OLE DB 16 provider is not registered. Now you can spend hours Googling how to figure that out and download every OLE DB provider you can find till the cows come home, and it won't work. Okay, here's what you've got to do. Go to your start menu and bring up the 64-bit version. And when it comes up, you will notice it looks exactly the same to the 32-bit version. Well done, Microsoft. Make it look exactly the same. So all we have to do now is do the exact same thing. Microsoft Excel, the data source, Excel file path, import. In fact, I'll just close the 32-bit version, get that out the way so I get confused. Okay, and go next. And you'll notice I didn't have to change the version here. Okay, either of them work, the 2010 or the 2016. So don't get caught up in that. Just make sure you go to the start menu and choose the right version. Okay, so next, destination, SQL Server Native Client. Okay, now what you'll notice what I just did then was I clicked the drop down next to server name. Now, what I would expect to get when I click that is a list of the instances over here. But that's not what happens. And if Microsoft could fix this bug, it would be most appreciated because I've been dealing with this bug for about 20 years. Okay? So if I was to just click the download, so the down arrow on database, I get all the databases from the instance that I started it with here. And it doesn't even do the default. Remember, I clicked on Stingrae as the database to import from, or into, sorry. But the default here is a different one. Didn't even put Stingrae there. So what if I want to put it into a different database that I didn't select there because it doesn't even put the one I selected there, okay? So if I wanted to go into this database here, the TB dev database, what do? I would go back here to the instances, copy that, come back, paste that into the server name. Did that work? No. Chose the wrong one. I need that one. Close that. Put that one there. Then when I hit the drop down, I get the databases from what I was after in the first place from the instances. Microsoft takes something so simple and they make it complicated. So next, sheet 1, the name of the sheet in the workbook. It's going to create a table called sheet 1. I don't want a table called sheet 1. I'm going to have a table called payments import. For lack of a better name, you'd probably choose something better than that, but for the sake of this demo, if you go edit mappings, you can change the field types, okay? Who wouldn't want the float ID for a float type for an account ID, but for the sake of the demo, again, I'll just leave it. Go next, finish, and it works. 67 rows imported. Close that. SQL new query. Select start from. Make sure in the correct instance. Okay, there we are, connecting to the right instance. And make sure we're using the correct database, the TB database. Payments, import, bang. There's our data. Okay, very simple. It's not hard. Just be aware of those pitfalls about the OLEDB provider that can catch you up, waste a whole lot of time, and the little thing about the selecting the right instance if you get into multiple instances. If you've got any questions, please sing out. Just make a comment below or find me on social media or via my website at stingrae.com.au. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be with you in the next video where things get a little bit more complicated. Bye for now.